What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Revolutionizing podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to another episode. I actually turned on my mic this time. Last week, guys, I kind of messed up on the podcast because I just forgot to turn on the mic. But not this time. I actually got it. I got it this time, okay? I got it. Now, but today I wanted to speak to you about the Apple Vision Pro. Apple has announced a new device, but this device, man, it's just so expensive. A lot of money was invested to make at least one device for the Vision Pro, and I think that's why I believe Apple is making this device $3,500. Yes, that is right. They're gonna sell this one for $3,500. Who has that kind of cash? Me? I don't even know if I would spend that much for a device like that. I mean, it does look cool, man. If you guys ever seen Ready Player One, that's kind of the same thing in a way. It's like VR, but it's also you can use your phone now. Your Apple phone, now you can use it with that device that have the Apple Vision Pro. You can also watch a movie and just zoom in and make it as a huge theater. And also the surround system on that device, it sounds pretty good as well, supposedly. But my question is, will you be able to use that device outside your house? Because if you can do that, then that's a game changer. That really is a game changer, and people would want to buy it. But it's also scary too, man, because lots of us depend on the internet. Like, we use the internet almost every single day. Don't lie, because we actually do. I use the internet every day. At least once a day, I look into YouTube. I always use YouTube almost every single day, and Twitter. But mostly, I use YouTube. Without YouTube, man, I don't know. Things will be a little bit more difficult. And probably Rumble will be the one to be on top instead of YouTube. But yeah, going back to Apple Vision Pro, the device looks so cool. It's a bit pricey, man. I think people who have the money for it and also huge businesses will be the ones to buy this product. I think maybe Apple could be the company to sell this device, and maybe it can actually sell very well because it's Apple. Apple has a good reputation on selling products for the longest. I can't imagine any other company, to be honest, selling something this big of a product. Maybe Sony, but Apple is just mostly well known to everyone. Even if you don't have an Apple phone with you, you already know of the company. Because maybe you use their phones or even their MacBooks, like the laptops, the iPads, even the Dr. Dre beats. The Beats by Dr. Dre, he sold it to Apple. So yeah, Apple's a huge company, man. And I think probably they could actually do sell pretty well. But $3,500, it is a bunch of money, man. A lot of money that went in to make that product. But maybe it can actually sell pretty good. That's what I believe. It could actually does sell very well. But like, majority of the people that are looking forward to this product, maybe they don't have the money for it right now, but they're gonna save up for it. Ready Player One is already here, man. I'm kidding. If you guys have seen that movie, you know. On that movie, the main character, he uses a device similar to the one they have shown for the Apple Vision Pro. And the thing is, I feel like we're gonna depend even more on technology if stuff like this just keeps on coming out year by year. This is like a first product, I believe, that has something like that. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I hadn't really seen anything like that before. I only seen it in the movies, like in Tony Stark's lab from Iron Man. But that's about it. I hadn't really seen it anywhere else. It's happening, man. It actually is happening. We're already here. By probably the 5th model or the 10th model, he's gonna be super advanced, way more advanced than the one that's coming out now, next year. He's gonna be crazy, man. If we're able to use that product without Wi-Fi, like if I'm able to use it just to go outside and just jog or something, then that's a game changer, man. That's gonna be crazy. People would really want to go buy it. But as for me, man, I don't know. I'm $3,500 for the system. Maybe it could be worth it, but I don't know. Since it's the first model, maybe it could be worth more probably in 20 or 30 years from now. Or maybe not, because maybe they're gonna do the same thing like how they're releasing all their iPhones. They're gonna release their iPhones year by year, and maybe they're gonna do the same thing for the Apple Vision Pro. Maybe in 2025 we're gonna get the second version already out. Well, we'll see, man. But as for me right now, I'm not planning to buy an Apple Vision Pro. Even if I'm a rich guy, I don't know. I don't even know if I will invest that much of money for that product. It's just a product that's keeping you inside your house and you're not really being productive with anybody else. Yes, you'll be able to make a phone call to your friend or one of your family members on the device, but I don't know. It just seems like you're just taking the opportunity to actually speak to a person face to face. Yeah. As for me right now, I'm not planning to buy it. Yeah. But now let's move on to boxing news. Canelo Alvarez still hasn't signed any contract with Benavides or Dimitri Bivol. I'm not really sure what's going on with Benavides' contract, but there was an interview that they did on YouTube. I saw it. They interviewed Dimitri Bivol, stating if they have heard anything about the contract signing with Canelo. Canelo is really thinking of just doing the same terms as it was in the very first match when him and Bivol fight. But Dimitri Bivol, on the other hand, he wants to fight Canelo for all his titles at 168. That's the main weight class that Canelo Alvarez is in, the 168 class, and Bivol is at 175. He feels like probably Canelo is avoiding him and doesn't want to sign him because he's not confident on himself, and maybe he thinks he's going to lose. Maybe that's why we haven't heard anything about the contract signing just yet for Canelo Alvarez. But man, we're still waiting for that announcement to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what is going to happen for that. Not sure that Canelo is going to take the fight with David Benavides just yet. he's really focusing on Dimitri Bivol. But let's see. I'm hoping it is at 168. Even Dimitri Bivol himself, he did say on the interview that he's comfortable at going at 168. He's not afraid to lose pounds or just lose the fight against Canelo. He's confident on himself, but is Canelo confident on himself? We don't know, man. But once they announce that fight, I will let you guys know at what weight class they're going to fight on. But like, I'm hoping it is at 168, so Canelo can actually test himself. Does he still have it, or is he actually not in his prime anymore? That's what everybody is waiting for, and I am too. But hopefully we'll get the answers soon. I believe Canelo did mention that he wants to fight Bivol around September time or October. But we still don't know when they're actually going to fight. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see if Canelo still has it or not. Maybe so, but there's just only one thing that him and Bivol needs to do. Sign the contract. There's this fight going on tonight. It's the one with Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. I don't really know much about Josh Taylor. I just know he is an undefeated guy. And like on his last few fights, I think he has beaten at least 4 undefeated guys. His last fight was probably a little bit questionable because people really did believe that maybe he lost that fight instead of winning it, because he wasn't doing as well, supposedly. I didn't watch that fight, but I did see the Teofimo fight, the one he had before fighting Josh Taylor. He didn't look so well as well. He got knocked down. I don't know which round, but I remember he did get knocked down, and he was having issues fighting the guy. And there was also a video that came out as well when he was on the ring saying that, do I still got it? Am I that guy still? Like, he was having doubts, and maybe he is having doubts still that maybe he can't beat Josh Taylor. Maybe he's just acting for the camera. But the only way to find out is just them going against each other tonight. By the time you're listening to this podcast, guys, you already know who won. But like, as for me, I'll be making my prediction right now. I do believe that probably Teofimo Lopez is going to get the win. Maybe he's not going to knock out Josh Taylor, but he could get the win. He just had to stay focused. I think he still has it. And you know the thing about Teofimo Lopez and why they don't like him? It's because of his father, supposedly. Because his father was giving him bad advice when he fought against George Kambosos. And I do kind of agree in a way, because his father was giving him some advice that he was winning the fight and that he was doing really well against George Kambosos. Meanwhile, he was getting his ass beat by George. He wasn't looking good on that fight at all. And like, his father was telling him he was winning the fight. That's what people are saying, that he should just leave his father and get a new trainer. But I kind of do disagree with that statement. I think it's better if a boxer stays with a family member or somebody close to them that knows them very well. Just like how Canelo has been close with his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, since he was like around 14 or 15. They've been together for the longest, and he's like probably a second father to him. He knows Canelo. He knows what he's good at and his weaknesses, and he knows how to make him better. Same thing with Gervonta Davis with his trainer, Calvin. they've been together for the longest, and maybe that can actually happen with Teofimo. By having his father by his corner, he can do well, or it can actually break him. But I still believe with family being close to him, I think for him it works because maybe he just feels comfortable being with a family, and that's what drives him to become better. If he was with a trainer, like with a new trainer, maybe he'll believe that he wasn't gonna do well. So that's what I believe. Maybe he can do well with his father being his coach. But with this fight, we'll see, man. I still believe that Teofimo still got it. It's just that, yeah, he's very cocky, but that's boxing. That's what all boxers do. Speaking of talking smack, Adrian Broner, he did fight against Bill Hutchinson. He won by decision. I didn't really watch it. I really thought that this fight was going to happen around the same time that Teofimo was going to fight. But no, it was actually around, well, in my time, it was around 12 or 1 in the morning. I was looking at Twitter, and I noticed that people were already talking about that Adrian Broner beat Bill Hutchinson. I was like, what? I thought he was going to fight him tonight, but no, that wasn't true at all. He fought him earlier, way earlier. And Adrian Broner, he actually is calling out all the boxers that have the titles. He wants to fight Rolly Romero. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting fight. Does Rolly Romero still has it? Because his fight against Barroso, man, he didn't look so well. The fight with Gervonta Davis, I believe it did change him in a way. Because he mostly was playing defense against Barroso. And I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting fight. Because Adrian Broner, he's probably not the same guy anymore as well in the ring. He still talks smack. But does he still has the skills and back his words up? We'll see once Rolly Romero fights Adrian Broner. That press conference, I believe, is going to be crazy with them two going at each other. It's going to be insane, man. Oh, and now let's talk about the show called The Idol. The show just recently just came out last Sunday. It's a new show from Sam Levinson. He is the creator of Euphoria. Euphoria was actually a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. And I always thought that Sam Levinson, he's kind of has the same style as The Weeknd in a way, but like for filmmaking or cinematography in a way. Before the actual show, The Idol, I felt like, man, these two should actually collab with each other. And 4 months later, around last year, they announced that The Idol was coming out this year. Yeah, The Idol is created by Sam Levinson and is written by him, and is also written by The Weeknd himself, the singer. What are the odds, man? What are the odds that these two were going to make something? And I never really thought it was going to happen soon. But it did. The Idol, episode 1. I saw it already, and I have to say, this is a very dark show. Just like the dark side of just being a celebrity. Maybe you're not going to enjoy the show as much. As of right now, it was decent. I enjoyed the first episode. It wasn't as bad. It's crazy that this show actually did get a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes when it first came out. When they showed the first 2 episodes on It was a Canes festival. It was a festival. They showed the first 2 episodes, and it came out as a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the lowest score I've seen by far this year for a TV show. And people were speaking that the show had a lot of behind the scenes issues. The people that are going against the show, they said before that this show is not gonna do well, and also why are they making this show? That people are against it. It's crazy, man. It's just insane. But like the overall episode that I saw is decent, man. It's not as bad as people thought it would have. And you know the crazy part is there's a thing called hate watching. I don't get that. After seeing this movie called Bodies, 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 there's this term I heard like called hate watching or hate listening. What is that? I started seeing that everywhere around social media. I started seeing that movie around last year, and people just started using that statement all around Twitter. I don't know, it's a new thing that Gen Z comes up with. Like, the Karens, memes, all that stuff. It's just a new term that just kids use nowadays. Riz as well. Yeah, it's just some new terms that people use. Going back with this, and they did hate watch the TV show. That's what the show did get around 900,000 views. The very first episode. And it's just so confusing. Why do people force themselves to see a show that they watch the trailer and they don't like it, but they still continue to watch it just to hate it even more? Yeah, it's crazy, man. Ugh. For me, when I saw this trailer, I was intrigued because this is another show that's created by Seth Levinson, and I had to admit I did enjoy Euphoria, and I was looking forward to watching this show. And also because The Weeknd, the singer, he's one of the few artists that I listen to today. And I was surprised to actually see him on this show. And I can't wait. We'll see what's going to happen next with the Idol show. Maybe we'll get a second season, but who knows? If I'll rate the first episode of The Idol, I'll give it an 7.5 out of 10. That's fair. But anyways, guys, I think that is it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give the podcast a follow. Follow it on wherever it is you're listening to it. If you're listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, anywhere that contains a podcast, follow it. And also make sure to also recommend it to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to horror stuff, combat sports, or anything pop culture related. Maybe they'll like listening to this podcast as much as you do. As always, guys, take care and live to the fullest. Bye.